We're live. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Offline Sharks. Beautiful Saturday morning. Beautiful for most of us. Not so beautiful for Tom. What happened,
Hey,
Tom?
hello, everybody. Wow, it's a dark day. My Sooners fell.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Tom's football team lost. So
Carry on.
Carry on.
Got that out of the way. Carry on.
The show must go on. So, but yeah, I just wanted to say thanks everybody for being here. You know, we just wanted to have this little jam session with you all. We have a bunch of cool things to go over, a bunch of great questions that came in that I've got a list of that we're going to address and talk about. We're going to give some stuff away, so hang out with us.
Some people are saying there's no sound.
Oh, there's no sound. Let's see. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Oh, they need to refresh. If you can't hear any sound, you need to refresh your page. So if you can hear me, let me know. I see Dave Angier. Anybody else? Yeah. Jacqueline can hear me. Dale. Yeah. So sometimes people, I don't know what it is. This is a cool new thing that Facebook has introduced where you can do multiple streams in multiple different areas. So we're streaming in our Facebook group, on our YouTube channel, on our page. And I've done this before where people don't have sound and basically you just need to refresh your browser page and it should be fine. Okay, great. Also, Cameron is on the call. Shout out to Cameron. There's a sound icon in the bottom right corner for anybody that can't hear.
Yeah, you were saying carry on. The other day I said to somebody, how's it going? And they said, it's going. You can't stop it.
That's a good response.
Yeah.
Okay, so where was I? Okay, so our little agenda here today for this live, that's what I was doing. So we're going to talk some marketing stuff. We got a lot of questions that came in. We're going to try to run through them just so that we try to get to every single one. We're going to try not to take too long on all of them. We've also got some stuff we're going to give away. We've got a couple of courses, some Amazon gift cards, things like that. So stick around.
Free stuff. Woohoo!
Free stuff. We all like free stuff.
You get a car. You get a car. You get a car.
Yeah. We're not going to be giving away any cars.
That's all coming out of Nick's part.
Unless you're going to be giving away your car. Okay, so one thing I want to do real quick, though, just to get started, is a couple of shout outs because we have some people in our community, some sharks, just absolutely crushing it. And I think it would be important to recognize them. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. But basically, I saw this morning in our Facebook group. Jay Dunbar, he says he quit his job yesterday. He did it. He quit his job to do internet marketing for home service contractors. He started with a $4,000 a month client on November 1st. So that's coming up here. And he plans to knock it out of the park and get referrals. But he's nervous, and that's to be expected. But it's time to burn the boots and commit. And
way to go, Jay.
Yeah, way to go, Jay. That's awesome. I love the I think that's the Addams Family GIF, right?
Yeah.
Wednesday. What's her name?
Wednesday.
Jay, that's awesome. Just I did that, right? Tom did that. And I can remember doing exactly what you're doing. You're doing the right thing too, right? Like you're not quitting the job too soon. I've seen a lot of people quit the job and not have any cash flow coming in. So it's really good that, you were able to line the client up, get some cash flow coming in. And that way you can make some choices based off of real world stuff and not based off of needing to put money in the bank. Keep the lights on, right?
Yeah. Hey, now that I'm going to the gym, I can give them the arm flex. Way to go, Jay.
Yeah, way to go, Jay. That's awesome. And, keep us posted in the group. We have a killer community, obviously. Look at this. We got 35 people that are hyped for you, and you just posted this. So awesome stuff. Another person that I wanted to recognize and shout out is John Smiley. He is, taking his prospecting and putting it on a whole nother level. Basically, he's using our Roofer Roundup course. and he's sending out direct mail to roofers, and he's basically getting their attention with direct mail, puts a printout of their website with a little post-it. And I just think that that's a really good way to get business owners' attention. And he's crushing it, right? He says at the bottom of this post that he's sending 40 to 50 of them out a week, and he's following up with a phone call a few days after the mailing. And he even says that he sent 22 of them out today. So my money, if I was a betting man, I would put money on John getting a client. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a killer strategy. Direct mail is something that really gets overlooked because people don't want to put in the little bit, and it's not a lot of effort. It just takes a little bit of effort to do it, right? But it has so many things going for it because people just don't get letters anymore. Like their email inbox is crowded, but very few people get letters. So your chances of getting through and then seeing it, and the little grabber there of the Post-it note is a killer strategy. And I would imagine if you keep up that consistency, you can't help but get clients.
Right. And, that's one of the things that we always talk about within our ranks, right? Like the number one thing you need to be doing to bring money in is talking to business owners. So what John's doing here, especially at the rate that he's doing it, I mean, it's going to happen. It probably already has happened, but it's just, sometimes people get caught up in that. They're like, how do I get paid? How do I get money? How do I bring, money coming in? How do I get a client? Well, this is how you do it. Like, there's no way around it. You need to talk to business owners.
Yeah. Well, one of the big things that I've mentioned before several times, like it's not just the talking to business owners, but there's two components to that. One is like the only way to get cash flow coming in is to make a sale. And one of the kind of big aha moments for me was when somebody really focused me in on that and said, look, when you're just starting or you're trying to get something going, your only function, your number one priority is to get a customer, to get a client, to get cash flow coming in. That's all you should be focusing on. And, they told me about revenue producing activity because it's really easy to get busy doing other stuff like learning this and learning that and getting your ducks in a row. And when you're doing those things are important, but like you always need to keep your eye on the revenue producing activity, which in our line of starting a digital agency is getting a client, right? So, I put Post-it notes all over my house, all over my office, everywhere, RPA, 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 so that I'm reminded of like, hey, when I'm setting up my computer, is what I'm doing a revenue producing activity? And if not, why am I not doing a revenue producing activity? So that's one part. Like, and that doesn't change. Like, for most businesses, like your sole focus should be on generating sales and clients until you're over the $1 million mark. Like that should still be your main focus. From $0 to $1 million, all your focus should be on getting clients. Like that's the main thing. Not on building out your office, not on getting the latest equipment. Like you need to get clients and keep those clients coming in, right? That's one. And then the other part of it is just the consistency, right? Of just, when it comes to prospecting and getting clients, there's lots of things in that process that we can't control. Like we can't control who's going to say yes. We can't control who's going to call us back. We can't control. There's lots of things when you're prospecting that you can't control. But the number one thing that you have 100% absolute control over is how many people you reach out to on a daily basis. That's the number one thing. So if you continue to do that, and just keep reaching out and just kind of like detach yourself from your results. Like I can't control my results. Like I can do things to make it more favorable, but I can't really control those things. But what I can control is my effort I put into reaching out and getting a new client. I think those are two big keys.
Yeah, that raises a good question. And I want to know from everybody on the call, how many business owners or leads did you contact or speak with this week?
Yeah, well, they're answering. I see John Bergman got his first website client this week for $1,200. Way to go, John.
What? Congrats, John. That's awesome.
Back.
You know what, John? Private message me. Send me your email. We're going to send you an Amazon gift card just to get you on your way, maybe buy you a new cool piece of software, something like that. But we want to see you hit the ground running. So send me a private message, send me your email, and we'll get that sent over to you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't see any answers to the question coming in yet, but I see Jacqueline says it knocks you at first when you get refusals. Yeah, you know, and that's one of the challenges, Jacqueline, right? Like you have to remember that when people say no, it's nothing personal, right? Like separating yourself from that is another part of it. Mary says she reached out to 60 people. Awesome work, Mary.
Wow, Mary.
I don't always see everybody's names. I see Don, 300. Woo! Crushing it.
Don.
23. Somebody says 23.
Jacqueline, that's awesome.
Contacted 3.
So Don's located in San Diego, Tom. When we're in San Diego in a couple of weeks, we might have to meet up with him if we are around, if we have some time. I've already got his contact info, but Don, that would be great to talk about some of those 300 leads that you're reaching out to. That's killer.
Yeah. Somebody said, what happened to Oklahoma? We got beat. We got out physicaled. We got outplayed. Yeah. I've come
awesome.
to it already.
Janice Douglas. That's awesome, Janice. Good job.
Way to go, Janice. 15.
I love to see some familiar faces, especially some of our Shark Alliance members on this. And, you know, that consistent prospecting is huge. So
Outward Marketing says 30. Susan Palin, 25 every morning, first thing. That's another great point. Knocking, you know, I know this was a big thing for me. You know, my natural inclination is I'm a recess kind of guy, right? So like I have to get up and do the things that I need to get done like first thing or they don't get done, right? Like, and I think that's key. Plus it allows you, like when you get that stuff knocked out right off the bat, like you can just kind of relax, you know, the rest of the day. Like you don't have to feel too bad. Like when you're doing other stuff, like at least I got my prospecting out of the way. At least I got whatever it is I needed to do out of the way, right? And I know that was a big shift for me, just making that commitment to get those things done first thing. You know, planning. I know Nick does this. Plan what you're going to do the night before. Get up, knock that stuff out, and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Megan says she's joining a BNI group this week. Awesome. Yeah, she visited 3 different ones. Cool.
Well, Tom especially has pulled a lot of money out of the BNI group and meetings. So
that's a great place.
I mean, that is a great place to go to. I mean, networking with business owners, you know, putting your services out there, putting yourself out there, huge. Good stuff.
Yeah, if you want to hang out with business owners, like, you know, networking, like that's really a great way to do it, to be able to start, you know, like if you want to be a part of your community, you have to become a part of your community, right? And I think networking groups are great. I also really believe in charitable causes and good things for the community. Like I know that I've went to a lot of functions that were fundraisers and things like that for different things here on Maui. And I've always been in a situation where there's other business owners there that I get to interact and talk with in a non kind of pressure salesy environment, right? And I know you've had that same experience, right, Nick? Like you end up at a table with the mayor, you know, or you know whoever happens to be at those tables. So that's another place.
Yeah, it's always a different mindset when you go into something and you're like, I need to sell this person or I need to sell something, right? But if you have like no expectation and you go there for networking, meeting people, mingling, you know, whatever it is, it takes the pressure off that sale, you know, and it happens more naturally, in my opinion, especially if you're a guy like me where, you know, I don't really like to go and just sell, especially hard selling people. I hate that stuff. So for me, I need to be in an environment where it comes more natural, and that is a way that it comes more natural. So if you're one of those people that, you know, you're not great at selling or you just don't like it or it's, you know, it's tough for you, you know, that would be a good way to, you know, get started and try something new. So let's move into some of these questions, and I've written them out. And if you guys have any questions, any other questions, put them in the comments we'll try to get to it. But I did have a few that I wanted to go over. So I'm going to put some questions up, Tom. Maybe you could answer them. You answer them.
All right, we'll see. What do we got?
Okay. So here's a quick one.
That's a great question. It says, do you rely on emails to communicate with clients, or do you have a ticket system in place? So we do not have a ticket system in place in our agencies. So we just deal with them through email and phone calls, Zoom meetings, stuff like that. But we do all of that just out of our regular email. I think for most agencies, like especially when you're starting out, you're not going to need a ticket system to handle that kind of stuff. And people, most clients really like that kind of ability to get a hold of you, like when they feel like they can reach you personally instead of going through a front, right? I mean, maybe if you started to get up in the, 500,000 clients, something like that, you might want to do something like that. But I don't think that's not something we do in our agencies. And I really don't think that's something that you need unless you're just a super big agency, like an Invisible PPC and those guys, Rob Warner, like they have they have a lot of clients, right? So it makes sense for them to do something like that. But when you're working on and starting out in a smaller scale, that's always something that you can just grow into. I know we had to grow into it even with offline sharks. Like we have a ticketing system in place now, but I mean, for a long time, Nick, it was just you and I answering emails, right?
Yeah. And the reason I brought this question up is because it touches on a really good point, especially for people that are just getting started. And this is just my experience, and I know it's Tom's experience as well. But when you're just getting started and you have your first client, you have a few of them, whatever. One of the things that people most appreciate is when they send you an email, you respond to it. When they try to get a hold of you, they can get a hold of you, or you get back to them, right? That is a way that you really can set yourself apart today, because there are so many, marketing companies, digital marketing companies out there that are just, spamming business owners with, trying to get their attention, but trying to sell them with services. And more often than not, a lot of business owners have given them a shot. And what has happened is a lot of them now come to or reach out to other agencies or marketers like myself and like Tom. And they always start the conversation or enter our relationship by saying that they were working with this, chain type marketing company, and it just didn't work out, right? Like they didn't get response to their emails or their phone calls. And a lot of that is because, they're not working directly with somebody. There's a chain of command. They send an email, their website is down or whatever, and they send an email, and then it has to go through the motions of actually being fixed or problem solving, right? But you being an independent agency or just a few people, you have the power to make things happen pretty quickly. And I know that business owners, especially ones that you have a relationship with, ones that you frequent, they really appreciate that. And they get that feeling of, you're their guy or woman that's like taking care of their stuff. They're happy to pay you. You're able to demonstrate that value very quickly, and the ticket system, like Tom said, that's something later on, but, focus on using your email, your phone number, and at least in the beginning, because you'll have some better results. You'll have a better response to that.
Yeah. And local clients really respond well to that kind of stuff.
Here's another question from Rob Oakley. Wow. Is anyone offering Google My Business Setup as a service? If so, what do you charge?
That's a great question.
Maybe give us a little rundown on what you started in the beginning charging, or where you started and where you're at now. Or...
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
So I think there's a couple of different ways to go about this, right? So in the beginning, just to do some Google My Business setup, obviously, every client situation is different. So, sometimes I'm just wanting to get my foot in the door with a client. So I may like come in really low at like $297 just to get things set up for them, to get it all optimized the way that they want. But really what I'm looking to do when I go into that kind of situation is try to bundle it into something, right? So sometimes if they're doing a website redesign, I may just offer to set up optimize the Google My Business Places for free, just as kind of a bonus to that website thing. And it gives me a reason to start talking to them about SEO and moving them into some paid monthly services. So, I think from your side, Rob, it's really like, well, what are you trying to do with that particular client, or just clients in general, right? I would also, if I were you, check around and just see, like, there are Google My Business services out there, like find out what are those other people charging, right? But I usually stay in that $497 range, somewhere around there, the $500 range, because I like to, I think if you're, and this really applies to any foot in the door service, I think there's kind of a sweet spot for pricing of foot in the door type services. And I think it's 500 or less just tends to make the barrier of making the sell there's a lot less friction, right? If you're charging $1,000, you really need to be able to show value in what you're doing and all that stuff, which you can, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I find as just, if we're doing it as a foot in the door and a way to get in with clients, keeping your pricing under that 500 range is a good place to start. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I started very similar, where I pretty much would take whatever I could get, right? I could take whatever I could get because I didn't really have anything going, and eventually what I ended up seeing was I would put an offer out there, email, phone, in person, whatever, and I would get like 50% of the people I met with would say, yeah, $500 a month is good, right? And then eventually my SEO, and this is for SEO because that's what we're talking about, right? That was when my skills were really entry level. And as I got paid kind of the entry level pricing, I also got to hone my skills at that entry level pricing, right? And the skill level and the results that I was able to get started to grow. And as that started to grow, I also grew in confidence of my abilities, right? So it's easier for me to start to increase my pricing and even just have these discussions with clients. I'm sure a lot of people on this live right now can relate to, like, probably not feeling so confident in the services they're delivering and being a little afraid to ask for $500 a month or $300 or whatever you're asking, right? But starting at a low number that you feel confident so you can build your confidence, or if you have a strategy in place where you can outsource the fulfillment, that would give you confidence to charge more. That's something you can do to get your prices up. But for me, again, once that confidence and that skill level increased, I also started to see people like never saying no to $500, right? Like everybody was like, sure, $500. And I was like, hey, I'm not charging enough. And that's kind of when I knew I needed to increase my pricing, right? So you want to get this sweet spot, kind of like Tom talked about, where not everybody is taking your pricing. Like, you got to get some deals turned down. Otherwise, you're not charging enough. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Well, and another thing about pricing is pricing is very specific to your situation and where you're at. Like, everybody always wants kind of a cookie cutter answer to pricing, but there's so many things that go into your pricing, like there's what you want to do financially. Like, what are you trying to achieve for yourself financially? Like, that's a big foundation part of what you decide to charge and how you handle your pricing, right? There's also the specific market you're in. Like, I see Jacqueline says, she doesn't know how anyone in her area could afford those sort of prices. Well, there's a couple things. One is, maybe they can't, right? But make sure that you really take a look at what they're spending money on already and what that pricing looks like, right? Because even in smaller areas, if somebody's spending money on advertising, like they're buying an ad in a newspaper, or they're buying an ad in a magazine, or they're doing things like that, even if they're still stuck in like the yellow pages, or they're buying a premium listing on the yellowpages.com, those things are not inexpensive. And, one of the things we talk about when we're looking for potential clients to reach out to, right, is like one of the first things you want to see is that they're already spending money on advertising and marketing, right? And so knowing what they're already spending on that thing can kind of like open your eyes to be like, oh yeah, they are willing to spend that money. A lot of them spend that money and then don't get any results. And so they shy away from spending it again, right? But if you can show them some results and give them some positive things for their investment, you can do that. Another great approach to that is, you can take that position when you talk to them initially. That's like, hey, I see that you're buying an ad in the Sunday newspaper every week. Like, what does that cost? How effective has that been for you? Right. So if it's like, it can't be, it's not effective, you can say, well, look, why don't we just take that money you're already spending and let's just do this instead, right? It's not changing what you're spending. It's not adding any new cost to your marketing. We're just going to take what you're spending in this ineffective area and we're going to move it into something that can be more effective, right? And I know from being here on Maui, like, it's hard especially for businesses here that have physical locations, because rent costs and overhead are so high that they are really on tight budgets when it comes to advertising and marketing, right? But they'll spend that money. They know they need to get the word out, right? And especially, again, if you can, show them some results and get them some positive traction, then you'll be king there when the other places aren't.
Mm-hmm. Man, these questions and topics, like, I feel like you and I we could just pick one and just go. Like, every time you say something, I almost feel like I have to say something. So I'm just gonna cut it. I don't know. Next time, there'll be more next time.
Yeah, I did. Since we're talking about Google My Business, one of the things that I did want to mention is you guys should be aware too, if you're doing local GMB as a service, that Google released a GMB app, right? And business owners download that and they can interact with their GMB page through the app. But one of the announcements that Google made recently was that this GMB app is going to be the only way that they can respond to people interacting with their Google My Business page, right? So that's another area where I'm sure a lot of businesses aren't even aware of that. Even businesses that have claimed listings might not even know that there is an app out yet, or even how to get it set up. So there's another thing that could be a foot in the door type thing that you could almost do at no charge or for very little charge, to just be like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but this is what Google's done. This is what's happening. And I can come and help you set this up and show you, get you set up on the app so that you can interact with people.
Yeah, that app is, it's super easy to use. I mean, one thing that I really like about it too is your ability to get notifications on, reviews and the posting as well. So you can do the Google My Business posting from there. So a lot of business owners that aren't, I mean, it's crazy how many will not log onto a computer, but they will go on their phone and do social media, right? Or they'll use an app. So yeah, that GMB app can be really helpful to those types of business owners.
It's called here. Let me see if I can find the links for you. It's called the Google My Business app. Here's a link for it on the Apple Store. And then here's the link for it on the Google Play Store. So you guys can check that out.
Dave said he just got it. Drew said, should I really move to Hawaii? How's it going, Drew? Yeah, you probably should, or at least come hang out with us.
Yeah, I see a good question here. It says, once a client's website goes live, do you also charge an ongoing fee for hosting, support, and maintenance per month? If so, what fee range? That's another great question. So this, I think, is one of those things where you have to kind of make a personal decision whether this is something you want to deal with or not. And I'm going to tell you why that is, because hosting companies are pretty inexpensive these days, right? So more than likely, unless you're just doing some kind of like velvet glove treatment or you have something really wow, it's going to be really hard to charge a decent amount of money. And there can be some headaches and things that go along with this, right? Like when people set their email up through their website, if that email goes down, they're going to be calling you because there's a problem, right? So in the beginning, I used to do that. Like I would include a year of hosting, and then at the end of the year, I charged, I think it came out to like $99 a month or something, and they paid for the whole year. Eventually I just got out of that because I didn't like dealing with the kind of stress that came with that. And I don't know if that was just me or if that's a common occurrence. So now what we do is we recommend the hosting place to the client, and we have them sign up through, a lot of times we do GoDaddy because they have great support. That way, if something goes wrong, they contact GoDaddy support, right? But depending on, again, your business model and what you're trying to do, you could put a package together and offer to do do backups and things like that. But there's, that's really just something you just got to kind of have to look at and see, well, is this something I want to do, right? But I found including a year of hosting with my website design projects was a nice, another little selling point, right? So we'll redesign the website and you get a year of hosting and we'll help you out, that kind of a thing.
Again, another great topic. Hey, look, the man of the hour, Jay Dunbar. Thanks, Cameron. The big client he just closed, over 100 touches over 6 months. So don't ever give up. But that resulted in a $4,000 per month client, and you quit your job. So, I mean, 100 touches versus that type of results. I mean, I would totally do that, right?
Well, that's one of the great things about having a digital agency. Like our margins are pretty good. Like
they're insane.
It can be very, I mean, you can have positive ROA talking to 1,000 business owners and only closing one deal, right. If those are bigger deals. Like that's completely, like, I think people have this misconception that to be successful, you have to have high percentages there, right? Like, for the people that are like companies or agencies that make a lot of money are closing every client that comes in. And that's not the case. A lot of times the agencies that make the most money are the ones that are charging more and sticking to their pricing. They work with fewer clients, but they make so much more for every client that it makes them insanely profitable, right? So don't get discouraged if you're talking to 100 people and only closing one deal out of 100. If every deal you close, if every one out of 100, is a $2,500 to $5,000 deal, like that's perfectly fine. You'll be just successful doing that. Like you don't need to worry about those kind of numbers.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much where where I'm at. Like I don't do the lower ticket stuff as much anymore. I actually refer it out. I sometimes give it to the sharks because it's just not profitable to invest my time in those smaller jobs, right? They'll take a lot more work. They don't have a lot of a budget. So, I charge $8,000 to $10,000 a website. Now, not everybody can afford that, and I don't get a lot of deals, but I'll get a couple of deals and the money's there and it's a lot less stress, but that's something that you can build to. Like you don't have to start there. And I would agree 100% that our margins can be insane when it comes to what we do, especially if you know how to outsource properly, right?
Yeah. Well, and also too, like those, it's the same amount of work whether you're charging $500 or $1,000 or $8,000. A lot of times the amount of work is the same, right?
Yeah, it's a good point. You know what? One thing I wanted to do real quick, Tom, is we're kind of like halfway through. Let's do a little giveaway.
Okay, let's do it. Drum roll.
What should we do? Should we give away? We already gave away an Amazon gift card. Let's give away a copy of our recent product.
Okay.
Question for free copy of Remote Client System. So right now, what does Remote Client System sell for? $97?
$97, yeah.
$97. So $97 value. This is an awesome training. A lot of you probably already know about it. And we're going to give away a free copy right now to somebody who can answer the following question. Let's see here.
I'm on the edge of it.
What is the name of the tool that bulk imports businesses into our agency growth machine influencer websites? So this is an offline Sharks tool. This is a software that Tom and I created. It's kind of a long question, a lot of sizzle words in there, but I no doubt know that someone will get that.
Any answers yet?
Hold on. I mean,
I know while they're putting their answers in, there's a couple of things we can talk, because I see a couple of other questions about GMB that we can address while you guys are typing in your answers. And
there's a little delay in the answers, so I'll just let this kind of come in for a second.
Yeah, Susan asked, do you know how to get the quote button on GMB? I've been trying for my realtors, but can't get it to work, just the appointment schedule. You have any insight on that, Nick?
Yeah, you can. So if you go to Google My Business, there's a setting there where you can turn the quote button on. I can't give it to you off the top of my head, but if you do a Google search for turning on the quote button, you may have already done that. If you're having an issue, there is a Google My Business direct support link that I have right here that I can give you that is actually really good. So they're specifically for Google Business. And I'm going to put that link in the comments below. And yeah, you can hit them up. They have a chat. They have a phone number. Anything Google My Business related, if you're having issues, you could send them a ticket and they'll help you.
Yeah, and I think another good thing too, another thing I wanted to mention about GMB was their, what do they call it? The Google Certified Service Provider. If you guys have any clients that have services, like getting that set up for your clients is another big one. That could be another good foot in the door. I mean, that's the thing about local SEO and Google My Business is they change things so often, they roll out new features that it just gives you almost like unlimited possibilities for getting your foot in the door and walking people through all this stuff, because it's just so much. It's just too much for most people to handle. But you know, there's a thing that you can do, a process they go through, and then it puts like a certified Google service provider on there, which can be a real big conversion booster for your clients.
Wow, I see a lot of crazy names coming in. List Finder, GMB Gunner, that's a different software of ours. Lead List Finder, Local Business Finder.
Bulk Importer.
Well, that's not the full. It's here. Someone got it. The Automated Lead Importer. And I have to dig. I don't.
Who is that?
I don't see there. I'll have to check the comments. Michael Hated. I totally butchered your name right there. Michael, you can send either Cameron, who's on the call, Cameron wrote, or myself or Tom, your email, and we will make sure you get a copy of that remote client system course. Congratulations. That's awesome. And just so you know, that training, that course has allowed another gentleman of our community to not quit his job, but just have a full-time income. Like this method, this prospecting strategy, what he's doing here, he's taken that and built a nice life for himself. He is a dad. He's got a few kids. He gets to spend a lot of time with his kids and work from home. So that strategy is huge, which is why we wanted to bring it to the Sharks. And, you know, congratulations. You now get your own copy.
Yeah, I mean, that's really a great prospecting method.
It is.
If I weren't, you know, like I think direct mail is probably one of my top. That remote client systems, that method, and direct mail are probably my two, you know, just in terms of like how effective they can be. I think those are two of the best. Yeah,
like attention grabbers, right?
Yeah, like your chances of getting seen and all that stuff, I think are really good.
Okay, so let's run through another question. Did you have another question you wanted to touch on, or do you want me to pull one of these up?
Let me look. Let's see here. Tom Jones says, would you develop a system for getting people to be our outsourcing folks to do our outsourcing needs? And how do we get our initial outsourcing folks?
That's a really good question.
That is a really great question. Yeah, so, you know, we have, I don't know where, so I know like Tom, I think Tom is in the Shark Alliance. I don't know if you're, I can't remember off the top of my head, but Tom, the Shark Alliance, we do have some training inside there and a couple of different places on developing outsourcers and stuff like that. It's definitely part of a little thing we have called the Path to Six Figures. It's one of the levels where you start talking about outsourcing and things like that. I can give you kind of the overall strategy of it and what we do. So basically, we get a lot of our team members from Upwork. So we post a job on Upwork, we take applications, we weed through them. And then usually our process goes like, you're going to post a job on Upwork, like, hey, I need a website developer. You're going to get a ton of responses. So, you want to weed through, look at things like experience, stuff like that. You want to, message people that look good to you and see how long it takes them to respond, stuff like that. And we kind of start building those relationships early on, reaching out, even when we don't have projects for them to do. And that's kind of like the first step of how we do it, right? And then that way we know, like, okay, if I get a website deal, we have this person that can do it. So we'll ask them about their pricing and stuff like that and just see if we get a good feeling from them, like they're going to be a good outsourcing person. And then when we get a project, we hire them to do that project.
Yeah, so it's not really, a lot of people think differently when you start to outsource. And I know that I did. I knew that people were outsourcing. I remember Tom and I were talking, like we started to get a bunch of clients and we were like, man, there are not enough hours in the day for these clients. Like it's driving us nuts. Like we didn't know what to do. I was doing a lot of Tom's hosting support at that time, by the way. Tom would call me and be like, their email's down or their website's down. What do I do with this?
Nick, like, we have a problem.
Damn it. So, we needed help. And I thought the way that the outsourcing worked was like, no one's going to talk to you unless you give them money, right? Like, because that's kind of how it works with consulting in a way, right? Like if you're going to meet up with somebody, they're going to tell you what they're going to do or meet with you. Oftentimes they charge for that, but not with outsourcing. So you can establish a relationship with an outsourcer and let them know that you're going to have a website client or an SEO client or, whatever service you're trying to sell, and get their contact info and be like, hey, when I get that client, can you work with me on that? And they'll be like, yeah. And so you don't really need any money to get started. So it's all about, finding and building those relationships, knowing how to do it. So yeah, we do have a killer training in the Shark Alliance program. So yeah, great question.
The key to that too is just like being honest with the people you're talking to. Like you don't try to put up a front. You don't try to make it sound like you've got tons of business and they're going to be lucky to get in to help you. Like you're just upfront with them. Like, hey, I'm currently in the process of getting some clients, and when I get those clients, I'm going to need some help. And so I'm trying to find somebody that I can pass that work on to. So, why should I use you? What can you do? What do you charge? That way you have an idea. And it also makes it easier when you're talking to your potential clients, because now like, okay, I can get this person to do it and I know what they're going to charge, so it can help you with your pricing. And plus it helps your confidence because you don't have to worry about the client giving you something that you can't do.
Right. Here's a really good question. I can't see your name, but whoever this is says, would you use Facebook, Google, or YouTube for advertising a local business? And the reason I think that's a good question is it really depends on what type of business you're trying to advertise for. And let me paint a little bit of a picture for you with that. So let's say that you have a broken pipe in your house, right? Like you got water coming down from the roof, and water is just coming down, and you're like, oh crap, I need a plumber, somebody to come fix this leak in my house. Chances are you are not going to go to Facebook to look for that plumber, right? You're going to go to Google. That's where I would go. And what I'm trying to kind of set up for you is that it really depends on who you're marketing for and where their target audience lives. So for plumbers, service-based businesses, right, contractors, those types of things, I would start with Google, But if you're talking about like e-commerce, fashion, cosmetics, things like that, you can do things like, Instagram or Facebook and things like that. another interesting thing that you can do today is like, if you are advertising on Google, you can also be advertising on YouTube at the same time, right? They are, you have the same retargeting, display network, advertising capabilities. So you can decide whether you want to go cast one net there, or if you want to just advertise on Facebook and Instagram. That's also the same platform, basically, right? Facebook owns Instagram. You can advertise in both places at the same time with just one ad. So, you just need to find out where the audience lives for whoever you're trying to market for.
I see Tom asked about the mailer, if that product is still available. Right now, Tom, it's not. There's, I don't know if you're familiar with a guy out there. His name is Bob Ross. He's a great resource for learning how to do that mailer. That's where I learned it from. I think he has a site called 9x12. I don't know if it's 9x12.com. I have to think of it. I think if you just did a search for, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let's see. Here we go. I'm trying to find it. Go ahead, Nick. Carry on while I.
Okay. I'll just go through some more of these questions. Jacqueline says, "Is this what you do for speeding up a client's website?" So I'm pretty sure you're referring to the outsourcing. Yes. I used to do site speed optimization myself, but now we outsource it. We actually have a course called Site Speed Profits. It's specifically all about prospecting for slow loading websites as a foot in the door strategy, but we also teach you how to speed up and optimize the website. And furthermore, we actually show you who to outsource your site speed optimization to. So we can, you actually get the contact info for our outsourcer to do that. It's called Site Speed Profits. And just for everybody that's watching, our website, offlinesharks.com, has a shop page. And at any point, you can go to that website and check out any of our products. We've got our full line there. I mean, we've got, I don't know how many products we have now, a lot. But they're there. And if you ever need any more information on any of those products, you can always go to that page, offlinesharks.com/shop. And you'll find all the info there.
Yeah, I think we have pretty much just about everything that you need, I think, to find. I know it's, as marketers, like, we get really wrapped up in finding all the new stuff. But, one of the things Nick and I have been very diligent about is, like, we try to only share things that are going to be viable and doable no matter what, right? So even some of our earlier products, like, those things still work. Those things are still good. Like, they're based on proven strategies and tactics. So
yeah. Look at this. This is a great question from Steven. He says, any shark events coming up in sunny Hawaii? Man, we tried to do an event this year, but we just couldn't get it out the door. We had way too much stuff going on, but it is a goal of ours to do one this year. I mean, this coming year. Right, Tom?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'd like to do one, maybe two, but yeah, we want to get some people out here, enjoy the Maui sun with us.
Yeah. We have a lot of people that are there. They want to write off an entire business trip to come hang out, and it's a great idea. So we want to do it. Absolutely. Someone asked, do you have a course for Google My Business? We have a couple of them. The training that I would recommend is just joining the Shark Alliance, which is our monthly mastermind or mentorship program. Basically, we have all of the Google My Business SEO training you will need, step-by-step video training. And, it's really in-depth, some of the best SEO training out there, especially for Google My Business.
Yeah. And plus in that one, you get the path to 6 figures, which is, if you're somebody who's like, I just want to know what to do step-by-step, just show me what to do step-by-step to get to where I want to go. Like, that path to 6 figures, that's exactly what it is. We lay everything out levels, and you complete each level. You can't move to the next one until you've done the first one. We hold you accountable. There's all kinds of great stuff in there. Let's see. Jamil says, newbie question. When emailing a prospect and you don't have their name, how do you start off the salutation?
Sir, madam.
We are actually kind of fortunate here in Hawaii because we have aloha. So I can a lot of times can just start them off with aloha, and it doesn't sound it just sounds like a normal way to start, even though the name's not there, right?
You should do that too. Even if you're not in Hawaii, you should just try it and see if it works. Yeah. I'm serious. I mean, that's what email marketing is about. Like, that is what email marketing is about, is trying and checking out the data, seeing what works, and trying something else. And, it could work. You get a pretty good open rate with aloha.
Yeah, I wouldn't. The one thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't try to get too casual, and I wouldn't start with something super formal like dear business owner or dear friend or something like that. So I would probably just start with a hi, or depending on how you craft your message, like you could just start off with, hi, I'm trying to reach the owner, this is what, like that type of a thing, right? But I wouldn't start off with things like hey or what's up or anything like that.
Or yo.
Or yo, yeah.
Yo. Oh. We had a guy, we had a guy that wanted to partner with us in something, and he was like, how was he starting? He would be like, yo, it's your boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Like, nobody knows you, so you can't do that.
That brings up a good point, because this is something Nick and I were talking about earlier today on the phone, was when you're trying to start a business and you're becoming a business owner, it's important that you bring professionalism to your interactions with everyone that you talk to, right? Because, one of the reasons that we have to do that here on Maui is Maui's a very small community. It's very tight knit, and you never know who knows who, right? Sure. So if I'm a customer of a business, but when I interact with that business, if they do something that I don't like, and my interaction is to just fly off the handle and be a jerk, it's that can there may be a time when I'm going to approach somebody for services, and they may know that person, or it's just a small community. And I think wherever you're at, you should remember that. It really is a small world. And so, if you want people to treat you professionally as a business owner, you should adopt as your personal guidelines to be professional to other business owners, even when they do things that upset you. Handle all those situations in a professional way, because a lot of people, I think that when they're a customer, they can just say whatever they want and act however they want, and there's no repercussions. But sometimes there is, especially when you start doing your own business and interacting with other people. But also, too, it's just you just don't want it hanging over your head. You just want to be professional. So I think it's good to start to, if that's what you're going to do, you're going to be a business owner, you want to realize you're in that group and treat other business owners with some professionalism and things like that. Gian says, when's the Shark Alliance opening again? Actually, I think we're going to open it up here pretty soon, Gian. So, yeah, hang tight on that. Keep an eye out for some emails. I think we might be opening that back up next week. But, yeah, I think really, we get a lot of people that, reach out to us about private coaching and stuff like that, too. And a lot of times they're just not in a place where they're ready for that, And that Shark Alliance and the Path to Six Figures is a great way. And we've seen so many people go in there and follow the path and get clients and get traction. It's that's the place to go. Yeah, Megan. So it's closed right now, but we're going to open it back up here pretty soon. Let's see. What other question? Nick looks like he's having somebody said, what about ahoy? That's a good one. Ahoy. Well, it's funny that you mentioned, I think, especially if you're sending out emails and you're not getting responses back, what do you have to lose, right? What do you have to lose by trying something like that? I know I put underneath all my emails in my signature, I started adding all around good guy. And it's so funny, like the only people that give me flack for that are like other marketers. Like where did I just go? Okay, so I got invited to speak at Career Day at my daughter's elementary school last week. And when I walked up to check in at the counter, the lady was like, "Are you checking in for Career Day?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Tom Gaddis." And she goes, "Oh, the all-around good guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And like, we kind of laughed about it, but it's like, I get a lot of clients that call me and they're like, "Is this Tom Gaddis, the all-around good guy?" Now, like, you can't put that in your email and then be a jerk, right? Like, you have to, like, you have to be nice to people, but it's just really funny. Like, people, it's so different and you stand out. You know what I mean? People are so afraid to stand out, but standing out really is like one of the keys. Like, let people know that you're a real person. Like, you have fun sometimes. Like, you're not just this stuffy person just trying to sell them things, So yeah.
My my headphones went out. Did you were you just talking that whole time?
Yeah, I was talking about my all around good guy email signature.
That's hilarious. Okay.
You'll hear it in the recording, but when I went to do Career Day, the lady checking me in, I was like, "I'm Tom Gaddis," and she goes, "The all-around good guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me."
That's funny.
Yeah.
I saw that somebody was talking about in the comments about our done for you setup of our website stuff. Like, we have a program, a bonus that we actually set up websites for our fast action takers. But that kind of reminded me of a question I wanted to ask everybody on this call. Who here, because there's a lot of people here, like, who here doesn't have their own like agency website set up yet? Like, put a 1 in the comments if you do not have a website set up. You can put a 2 if you do, that'd be great. But if you do not, put a 1. And I'm curious to see, how many people still, because like, one of the things that we've been talking about doing is really like bringing everybody up together. Like, our community, like, we've got a lot of people that are crushing it. We started out this live by just doing shout outs of people. I actually had 3 more shout outs that I want to do, but I was like, well, this is going to take a long time. So I had to put them on the back burner, but so we have a lot of people that are doing great, but we have a lot of people that are just at the basic part, like just getting started. And I think, like, as a community, we should all try to get everybody up to speed and grow together. And, at a very minimal, everybody needs to have a website for their own agency at the minimum. And I see a lot of, wow, I'm actually kind of surprised at how many people do not have one yet. I see a lot of 1s. Let's see, let's count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Geez. Okay. Well, we have over 20. And what do you think, Tom? What do you think about if we, well, let me ask you guys. Well, let me ask Tom. It's up to Tom, but I'm going to ask everybody at once.
The pressure on me.
Well, we've never done this before, but it just kind of, the idea just kind of came to mind, right? Like, if nobody has a website, we have an incredible agency site, right? An Offline Sharks theme. All of you love those Offline Sharks themes. What if we were to give people a super discounted rate to set up their first agency site for them? Would you be open to that?
Yeah, and if you look at my if you look at my website,
should I pull it up?
Hold on. Pull it up. Yeah, pull it up.
Let's see here. Handsoffmedia.com.
I was looking at
would you,
whose website is that I'm looking at?
Would you guys be interested in that? What if we were to set up for, a really small fee? This is something totally impromptu. We weren't even planning on doing this. What if we were to offer you we'll give you our agency theme, right? This one that you're looking at, the same one Tom's using for his business, we'll give it to you. And we're going to just charge you, what do we normally charge for that? Like $250? we'll do it for 97 bucks. We'll set this website up for you.
No, do it for 99. Make it 99.
Okay, 99. 99.
I mean, that's a pretty smoking deal for a website.
Would you guys?
This, by the way, this website that you see is exactly what it looks like out of the box. Like, you get all the content and everything that comes with it. And now, if you're a Shark Alliance member, you have access to this inside your Shark Alliance, right? Like all the files in there for you to set this up. That's one of the steps in the path to 6 figures to get this set up. We show you how to do it, all that stuff. But I think what's a little different here and what is that our team will set it up for you. So basically you'll need a hosting account and a domain name. And if you just give us your login for the hosting account, your cPanel login, and your WordPress login, then our team will set the site up for you, add all the demo content. Then you just have to go in there and do some things.
Yeah. Okay. John said he just paid 99. It was worth it. So,
I mean, that's a pretty smoking deal to get a website for 99.
Okay. All right, Cameron. Actually, I have. Where's that link, Cameron? Can you text me that link for the that link that we set up for John earlier today? You guys, we're gonna get you this link so you can get your own agency website set up. 99 bucks. I don't think that you can get a better deal. The actual website theme itself, all of our website themes. Actually, we don't even offer this one to the public. This is a Shark Alliance only theme. This is our agency members only theme. But any of our themes go for a minimum of $99. So you're going to get the actual theme, and we're going to set it up with all the demo content for you for 99 bucks. Guion is saying, how long is this offer going to stay up? We have no idea. What do you think, Tom?
We really weren't planning on it.
This is not. How about this? We're gonna do it for 20 people. I counted 20 people on this call. If you're one of the first 20, then we'll set up your site, because we can't do 1,000, right?
Because the support team has to do with this. Cameron is probably like, "What are these guys doing?"
Sorry, Cameron.
Making his job harder.
Okay, here I got the link.
Nice to hear from them.
Hold on. I got the link. Okay.
Yeah, so you get the content too, right? Like all this content that you see on here is the content that comes with it.
If you get in, I'm putting it up right now.
We didn't. Yeah,
what?
We didn't really plan on doing this either.
This is funny.
Uh-oh. The support guys are going to kill us.
There it is. There's the link. I'll put it in the comments below too, so somebody can click on it. But okay, there it is.
Hey, I did take a look at Jacqueline's. I hope I'm saying your name right. Jacqueline's website, and Jacqueline, I think your site looks good. Like, I mean, you've got some nice copy on there. It looks professional. I see all your stuff about social media. Like, you've got three different packages that you offer there. Like, I see a lot of good things on here. I mean, I just kind of glanced over it, but I think you're definitely moving in the right direction. That's definitely, definitely a site that you can work with and build on. Like, I wouldn't have no qualms about showing that to potential clients. Like, I think it looks professional, it looks good, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Like, if you have a website and it's all right, like, don't spend too much more time and money revisiting that website, right? Like, you just need something to get started. Now go get your first client, go get your next client, like, go get the money. That's the most important thing. I actually have a meeting later today with a guy that he lives on another island. He's flying over to meet up, talk marketing. He's got a marketing agency. He calls it a marketing agency, but I don't really call it a marketing agency because he doesn't really do anything. He's on like his 5th iteration of his website. Like, I swear he spends a third of his time just like messing with his website. That is not what anybody should be doing. If you don't have a website, hit this link right here. For the first 20 people, we're going to set this exact website up for you. this is exactly what it's going to look like out of the box. It's got all the professional content. We're going to give you the site files too. So we'll set it up. If you want the files, let us know. We'll just send you the zip file and you can have it. Just so you know, this website, it doesn't take a lot of technical ability to edit either. I built this site for people that don't have a lot of tech ability. I wanted them to be able to have something that they could use and kind of manipulate and live within the confines of a box that was easy to use. So yeah, take us up on that. First 20 people, $99. This is a good idea, Tom. I'm happy that we're doing this.
I mean, there's really no reason, now to not have an agency website set up, right? Like something that looks good and professional, so that at least if people go to check you out, there's something there.
Well, what I mean by that too is like, I didn't really think that there would be that many people that needed a website. So being able to bring everybody up with this website is going to be really good, because now when we do our next training, you'll be at the stage where you can be with the rest of us, right? Somebody said, what about duplicate content for agency sites? What about it? What about duplicate content?
Nick feels very passionate about duplicate content. Nick and I we always have this conversation about certain things. It's like, there's things that people perceive as problems out there that really, like in our experience of running agencies, just are a non-issue. Duplicate content is one of them. We've never had any issues with duplicate content, and we use it a lot on client sites, a lot of different things. And it's just not an issue. Like, it's something that people like to kind of worry about and fret about and talk about in forums, but in our experience in the real world and doing sites and stuff, it hasn't made a difference, right, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are some things that, when it comes to duplicate content, like SEO ranking, right? People think that if you have content that has exactly the same, that you're going to be like penalized for it. That's not true. That's not true. And I know that not to be true because I've built websites with thousands of pages with content that is all over the internet and first page rankings. I mean, there's a lot of testing that I've done myself to prove this as a myth. But what you do want to keep in mind is, like, we're giving you this website, right? We're giving you the content with it. You definitely want to go in there and change some things, personalize it to yourself, but it's not going to take you longer than, 10, 20 minutes. And when you're sending people to this website on your business card or in person or whatever, like, they're not going to be like, oh, there's duplicate content on this website, I can't talk to you, right? They're going to see a professional looking website and want to do business with you. So, this is a minimum viable website, an MVW, and it's so you can get started, right? You're never going to be able to get another website that looks this good, WordPress website, responsive, built-in functionality, set up for you for $99. Like, there's no way. This is the cheapest, most awesome website you'll ever get. So if you don't have one, you should totally do it. I mean,
well, and literally all I did to this site was added my logo and then updated some of the links. I saw somebody put in the comments that one of the links goes to Nick's site. Well, all you have to do is go into the back end and you can change all those links. It's pretty simple. You should have access to some training on that. I don't know whose name that is that did that, but yeah, it's all in there. Cameron says, payback time. Don't forget, we've got to give away an Amazon gift card or two.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Oh, look, there's Cameron's picture and his new wife.
That's an awesome picture.
That's an awesome picture. For those of you that don't know, our Nick just got engaged recently as well. They're dropping like flies around here at Offline Sharks headquarters.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. So let's see. I know there were a lot of people that were interested in the website. I'm gonna leave it there. I already see a bunch of sales coming in on that. So hopefully one of you guys get in to be the 20. Let's give away another Amazon gift card. That way you can put a little money towards your new website, perhaps. Let me pull up stop sharing my screen here.
Oh, Cameron, Tom's coming for your lady. He said she's pretty.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Cameron. How about this? I'm gonna write or pull this question, and we're gonna get a bunch of answers. It's gonna be a different type of question, and you pick the best one, Tom, to be the winner. Okay?
Here, real quick before you ask the question, I want to address Danny's comment here because he said, is that an elegant theme or a divvy? It's none of those, Danny. We custom built that theme from the ground up.
It's an offline Sharks theme.
All of our themes are custom built by us. So we don't just take another theme and build, like, they're built by us from the ground up. So yeah. Okay, so all right, question.
Okay. Who wants to win a gift card? Put a me in the comment if you want to win a gift card. I mean, are people sleeping out there? Or are you just trying to buy your new website theme?
Okay, let's give away a gift card. What's the question?
Me. Let's see here. Okay, the question is, what is your favorite perk about being in the Shark Alliance?
Well, what about people that aren't in the Shark Alliance? Let's do a question that people don't have to be in there.
Well, they don't have to be in there to want the perks.
But they might not know what all the perks are.
All right. New question. What was the first offline Sharks product to ever launch?
There you go. That's a good one.
For an Amazon gift card. Questions are going to come the answers are going to come rolling in. Tom's going to pick the right one. There's only one correct answer to this one.
All the courses are awesome. Well, we like to think so. We may be biased though.
A little bias.
It says it keeps freezing up.
That's funny. We're breaking Facebook.
Oh, somebody said CC. It's not CCSU.
It's not CCSU.
Not a sniper. It's not the coupon one, Danny.
Nope.
Oh, Jim, somebody said website. What do you mean, Jim? What do you mean website?
Lead finder, roofing theme. The card with 12 choices.
It's not that one. Somebody says I like finding better. We already gave you the page where all our products are. You can just go there and start listing them off.
Local lead finder.
It wasn't WordPress Profit Monster.
We got a lot of good people in our community.
It starts with an F. I know that. It starts with an F.
You can't give him any hints, Tom.
I gave him a hint. Your overall support. It's not Website Profit Monster. It starts with an F. F is in Frank. It starts with an F.
This is funny.
This has been, let's
Zip
see.
it.
We started Offline Sharks, 3 years ago?
A little over 3 years ago.
A little over 3 years ago, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speed sniffer, no. David just said F.
That's funny.
It's not just F. Let's see. Fee finder, no. Oh, I see a winner.
Oh, who is that?
1213.
Facebook user.
Yep. Fast audit websites. That's it. Who is that?
Actually, the real name is Fast Cash Website Audits.
Cash.
But you got. He got it. He got it.
Steven? Oh wait, no, I don't know. That's somebody that came in after. Who did that first? Fast audit websites. Can you see who that is?
No.
Cameron, can you see who that is?
Yeah, Cameron, can you get us?
Because it just says Facebook user on my end.
Yep. We'll get it. Whoever you are, mystery person.
I see the person right below them was, I think, no. They're just above Steven. I could see that.
Yeah, Desiree Horsey. Desiree Horsey is the winner.
Desiree, all right, congratulations. We got an Amazon gift card coming your way. get Cameron your info, and he'll get you taken care of. I was trying to scroll down. Cameron's telling me how to do Facebook. I was trying to scroll down in the comments, and it wasn't working. Like, it only shows me a couple, and I, for some reason, can't get him to keep going.
Okay.
Desiree, awesome.
Awesome, Desiree. So yeah, I think, we should probably start wrapping this up, Tom. We're about an hour 15. I've got to go meet that guy that works on his website too much.
Yeah, I get to go to the Maui Comic Con. My daughter
Comic Con.
Yeah. So
awesome. Well,
some nerds.
It was really awesome hanging out with you all. We didn't really know that we were gonna do the whole thing about hooking you guys up with the agency website. And I know that there are probably about 10 people that already got it. So we've got a few more spots coming in and a few more spots available. So if you don't have a website yet, probably about 10 more people that will have probably the best website you'll ever get for $99. And then you don't ever have to worry about having a website ever again. Wouldn't that be nice? And yeah, Tom, this was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I had a great time on here too. I like this software that we're using for these. It's really nice.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We always say this, but we're gonna have to do this again.
Yeah, we need to do more of these.
We need to do more of these. We always say this. We need to do more of these. So yeah, if you guys like, this live, let us know in the comments below. This is gonna be pinned in the group for everybody to see for a while. But whenever we can get feedback from you, like, we like that. We need to do more of that. We like those Ask Me Anything or those Q&A Facebook Lives. We want you guys to do more of that. Put that in the comments below. That really does inspire us and hype us up to do that. It's really difficult if we do something and put ourselves out there and, we don't get a big response, right? But if you guys, you want to hang out with us more, you like this forum, let's do this again. Let us know in the comments, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah,
take care, everybody.
The rest of your Saturday. Aloha, everybody.